politicians in Nigeria?
Absolutely. No doubt about it. I think that any nation that would ever grow and develop has to have its brightest and its best people. The people who others can look at as a benchmark, somebody that most other people would look at as role model, to be the people who would lead and chart direction for that nation. Anywhere that you have the people who are less than the best, who are not your role models, that are in leadership position, go and check the trend. Economically, socially, everything is going down. Everything.
Well,
Lagos,
can you guess that voice?
Tag, before Lagos guesses that voice, I want to tag it on. Let's be specific now. So, if you see somebody who's contending for a position into the National Assembly, who we find out is divorced, there's allegations of abuse against him, child abuse, or rather domestic violence against him, someone who probably you see his kids, you hear his kids are running around Lagos drinking and smoking, or you also have someone who has different allegations. Are you saying that people should not vote for these type of people?
Obviously, what you should be doing is saying to yourself, the person that I will vote for must be the kind of person I want my kid to be like. Okay. So if you want your child to be like that person deserves your vote. If you don't want your child to end up like that person, then that person does not deserve your vote. It's that simple for me. That's how it is.
Well, Lagos, can you guess the voice of the person on radio right now? That this voice, it's said, is worth millions. He gets paid, in the regions of.
He even laughs like he's worth millions.
Yes. So let's try. I'll put a million.
I need a
million
rich
naira
laugh. You do your own first. No, that's fake. Yours is now worth like 10,000. This is it.
All right. The phone lines aren't buzzing yet, so I don't think people can figure the voice out. You know your voice voices sound different on radio.
Yeah.
So I get people who say, your voice sounds totally different when you're on the radio. So it's possible that you probably can get his radio voice. But ladies and gentlemen, we are with no one other than the founder of Gemstone. What do we call it now? Gemstone Incorporated. Gemstone.
It's a Gemstone Group.
Gemstone Group.
Yeah.
He is a great speaker and someone who has inspired a lot of young Nigerians. I remember when I was in university. My first encounter with him was when I was in university. Someone gave me a tape because he used to be a pastor actually. Yes, right or wrong?
No, not me. Another pastor. I used to be. Well, right now I'm an assistant. I do assist in the pastoring services of House on the Rock.
But you're not a pastor.
Well, I'm not yet. Well, I am. So I hear that I am. Let me tell you why I say I hear I am. Because I am an assistant pastor. I'm not ordained.
Okay.
I am proclaimed, which means it's the junior level of
it's
the
semantics.
Yes, but they haven't put oil on the end. They say go ye into the world and pastor.
But I actually listened to a tape, some message. I don't believe it was a sermon, and you said something about how giving this was so important. I remember that so well.
Yeah.
This was years ago.
Yeah.
And then you came to my school that time and you spoke to us and it was really inspiring. So that was my first encounter here. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Fela Durotoye.
You must teach us that rich man's laugh. If I laugh like that 24 hours a day, maybe me too, it'll work for me.
Niger Info, I am grateful to be here.
Now that I remember the story. So this message you preached was about giving. You talked about how it's important to give, to get, and all of that. And I was a young, man in university, so impressionable, and I believed so strongly. And I can't remember what the story was, but you said, if you want a car, give out the bicycle that you have, or something of that nature.
I've never taught anything that I didn't do. Okay, which is why most of the time, if anybody listens to my messages, I usually use a lot of my examples, not as a way of bragging or boasting, but as a way of saying, listen, if it worked for me, it might be able to work for you. I've never asked anybody to do anything that I wouldn't do, and so most of the time, I would only say to you, this happened, I got this understanding, I did this was the result. If it works for you, that's great, but it comes by your own understanding. Okay,
I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I did. So I have this thing for shoes, right? So back then I got this really nice brogues, sweet brogues. I remember emptying my account to get this pair of shoes. But then I remembered Fela Durotoye's message, and I thought, I think I want a car. Maybe I should make this this huge sacrifice and sow this huge seed.
Tell me.
So
I can't wait.
So painfully.
Yes.
Painfully.
Yes.
I gave away my shoes.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't get the car.
Well, no. You just told me. You told me outside you were having problems with getting your car packed. Where did you get that car
No,
from?
hold on. This is the point. This is the point. When I get the shoes, I thought, you know what? I should get a car now. I thought it'd be automatic.
You can't determine seed, time, and harvest.
No, at that time, I didn't understand.
That's
That's the punchline. I thought, you know what?
That's kalu kalu.
And I'm like, where is my car?
And eventually, how long did it take for the car to materialize?
Well, it actually didn't take too long, and I thought for a second, you know, sometimes when we sow seeds and we give to God, you know, we expect it to come in a certain way, but it might not have been a car that I got in return, but there's a blessing that comes with giving, and it might not be what you expect. It might not come in the package that you expected. So, but
I mean, I have had the privilege of giving out 12 cars in my life. Okay.
do you have a jet now? Do you have a private jet?
It's on its way. That one is for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Fantastic.
Right? But the thing is, I've never really been a recipient of a car. Well, okay, somebody gave me one. But the big idea is that you would expect that every time I give out a car, I got a car. But that's not how it. Just the same way you said it. What happens is that you get a blessing, and that blessing increases your capacity to buy a bigger car,
to
a
give
better
more.
car, and to give more. So the first car I ever gave out was a Jetta, a Volkswagen Jetta. I used to call it my Isaac because it was the most precious thing to
What
me.
is it about naming cars? Why? Seriously now. My car doesn't have a name.
Your car doesn't have a name.
No, it's
man.
guys that
This one-
name their cars.
No, because it means more. Probably means more to us. For you, your car is just a
Means of transportation.
For me,
It's a status symbol.
it was more than anything. I mean, I used to polish my tires with something that was something close to. I mean, that was how I loved that car so much. And when I was told to give the
Polish
car,
your tires?
I gave the car to a man who couldn't drive because that was the man that I was told to give the car to. Okay, but guess what? Within a year later, on the same day, a year later, I got a Mercedes-Benz E-Class at that time. This was 2002. And the story keeps going on, and by the, you know, I've had
This is the story you shared in that
yeah,
message.
and I've had
That
the
made me give
privilege
away my shoes.
of giving out Range Rovers, not one, not two. I've given out Tuaregs. I've given out, you know. But what I'm saying is, I have had the privilege of doing these things because I was led to, never because I was trying to get another car.
Please
It was
put my
always
name on the
because-
top of that list.
You see, this is what I said.
So
I
If
was
you will
led
not
to.
ask, you will not receive.
I will.
Put my name on the top of that list.
Holy
Next
Spirit,
one.
Holy Spirit.
God has told me to give out my car very soon
Fela
because
Durotoye right now.
what?
I drive
receive
a cutback now.
That's
It's
fantastic.
Does not matter.
It's a
I do
truck.
not care.
That Rolls Royce
It's a
Phantom
truck that I drive
Amen,
now.
amen,
It's a nation
amen.
builder's truck.
Fela Durotoye, wait. The Holy Spirit is speaking.
He's speaking. Speak.
That Rolls Royce Phantom packed outside.
Yes, Lord, we're listening.
It's mine.
This is blasphemy. And what is mine?
Man, what I just don't know is whose car you're talking about.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on a break for the news now. And when we come back, we're going to talk about nation building, entrepreneurship. And I'll tell you, we never have enough time to do all the talk we need to have. Ever. And then you have Fela Durotoye in the studio, you know there's not going to be enough time. So we're going to try and get him back sometime soon. But today we're going to talk nation building, entrepreneurship, leadership, as well as something called the Speaker's Corner. A very, very interesting, series of events is about to start off tomorrow. All right, so we'll tell you all about that as well. So stick around right after the headline news.